Sometimes in football management, there are times when a manager has to prioritise nothing but saving their own skin. Results are not going your way, your defence is a big ugly mess, your midfield is weaker than the internet signals in your basement, and your best player who's won everything in the game is no longer a sprightly young man willing to die for the cause. In football these days, the best form of defence is attack. The most tactically complete managers out there expect their offensive players to spearhead the attack and try to win back possession by applying constant pressure on the opposition. At Manchester United, that's not the case, and no matter how much we sugarcoat our words, Cristiano Ronaldo is no longer the player that you expect to apply pressure on defenders throughout the 90 minutes, and it isn't his fault. So as a manager, what do you do when you're already buckling under intense pressure to deliver? Barcelona finally decided to part ways with Ronald Koeman, and we can't say that we were caught by surprise. The Dutchman had been walking on thin ice. 5-0. Nope, not the scoreline from that Man United-Liverpool game. Bayern Munich also took a page out of the book owned by the residents of Old Trafford and orchestrated a similar thrashing of their own, but at the hands of Borussia Mönchengladbach. That was a rare sight, but at least there's one team in Germany that decided to stand up to the Bavarians and sliced and diced them. We have so much to cover in this episode, so go ahead and quickly subscribe to GOALSIDE and make sure that you've got your notifications turned on. Bayern Munich are perfectly aware of the fact that it will be no easy task to replace Robert Lewandowski once the Polish striker hangs up his boots. The striker might only have about 3 years of top football left in the tank, so the Germans have to start looking for replacements without expecting anyone to be the Poland international's second coming. Erling Haaland is one name that's been linked, but the Norwegian has so many suitors that Munich might not be able to sign him. However, their search has led them to Italy, where a Nigerian striker has caught the eye. Victor Osimhen has made a thunderous start to the season with Napoli. Scorer of 9 goals in 11 games, the youngster is a rising star. Reportedly, Bayern Munich are looking to bring him to the Allianz Arena and are even willing to offer Napoli €100 million for his services. At the age of 22, Osimhen is at a perfect stage in his career, and in the current market, €100 million seems reasonable for a player of this quality. It remains to be seen whether Napoli president Aurelio De Laurentiis will accept the offer, since he might be looking for more than that for a player whose best days are still way ahead of him. Other clubs are also looking at the player, so the Germans need to start their work early. Is Victor Osimhen the most underrated striker in Europe? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. While they might not say it openly, Paris Saint-Germain are resigned to losing Kylian Mbappe for nothing. The young forward hasn't extended his contract yet, and barring a huge turnaround, he's unlikely to do so, as his own goal is still to join Real Madrid. Therefore, it's essential for PSG to prepare for life without him. While Erling Haaland has often been linked to the move to Parc des Princes, another name has been reported and seems to be a bit more likely. Reports claim that the cash-laden French giants are looking to bring in Mohamed Salah, who's now seen as their #1 target for next summer in order to compensate for Mbappe's departure. The Egyptian international has been in fine form this season and ticks all the boxes. In addition to performing at an extraordinary sporting level, Mohamed Salah has the advantage of being in a favourable contractual situation for Paris Saint-Germain. The Liverpool striker will only have 1 year left on his contract with the Reds next June, which will automatically place the Premier League club in a bit of a delicate situation. According to some European media reports, Mohamed Salah is demanding a colossal salary of €25 million per year to extend with Liverpool, terms that the Reds are not certain to agree to. That's a bit of a godsend for Paris, who of course will not worry about how to afford Mohamed Salah. Mbappe's departure is going to add a lot of space on the club's wage bill, plus the capital club has the means to offer significant wages to the best players out there. But it remains to be seen whether the player himself will want to leave England, where he's become such a huge success. What do you lot think? Borussia Mönchengladbach caused a ripple in time and space on Wednesday night. Adi Hütter's Chargers crushed Bayern Munich 5-0 in the DFB Pokal for the first time in their history, even though Julian Nagelsmann didn't rotate his squad and fielded his strongest team. The win was reminiscent of the Liverpool thrashing of United last Sunday. This presented Mönchengladbach the opportunity to troll the Bavarians and the Red Devils on their Twitter handle. The game itself was a one-sided affair, with the Foles leading 3-0 at half-time, and if you watched the game, the look on Oliver Kahn's face said it all. 2 more goals were scored in the second half, and it was a great sight to see Bayern Munich humbled. Maybe the Foles are going to be the ones. This time around, Ronald Koeman couldn't save himself. The Dutch tactician already knew that he was on borrowed time, and a bad result against Rayo Vallecano was going to seal his fate. Unfortunately for him, that's exactly what happened. A few hours after the defeat, Barcelona announced their former player's departure. While it had been a long time coming, Barcelona are the ones who are going to be paying a far heftier price for the ending than the man they fired. Linked with the Spanish Giants until June 2022, the former Everton manager is going to be given somewhere between 12 and 14 million euros. But that's not it. Last month, Catalan media revealed that if Koeman's contract wasn't extended for a third season, the club would have to pay him 6 million euros. Already stuck in financial crisis, La Blaugrana will now see their debt rise, and to think that they still haven't fully paid Quique Setien after firing him a couple of years ago. Wow, can't catch a break these guys, can they? These days, Manchester United are the ones who are dominating the workflow of most of the sports journalists and media outlets. Ole Gunnar Solskjær continues life in the hot seat, and even the embarrassment at the hands of Liverpool hasn't seen him get the boot. However, the club is still struggling to digest the shame. The Norwegian has 3 games to save his skin as the club's leaders look to find a replacement. However, parting ways with their former striker is gonna cost them. The club will have to pay Solskjær 9 million euros if they decide to take his hands off the wheel. This does sound like a "I've won, but at what cost" type of moment. Paul Pogba might be one person who'll be happy to see the Norwegian go. After confirming to the world that he did not ignore his manager in the dressing room, Pogba might have proven that he isn't going to play any role in Solskjær's sacking. However, this also doesn't mean that he wants to stay. It appears that Manchester United have given up hope of extending the Frenchman's contract, who is likely to leave as a free agent at the end of this season. United have got some problems, haven't they? Alright, so to the main part of our episode today. Solskjær is a man under immense pressure, but will certainly be in the dugout for Saturday's league outing against Tottenham Hotspur. However, it's also clear that the former striker is now on probation, and should he engineer any other disaster class, he'll be looking for a new job. Testing situations require drastic measures. And maybe it's time for Solskjær to make the sort of calls that might not endear him to several members of the locker room, but might help him guide his ship away from the whirlpool that it's headed towards. Solskjær really needs to make a lot of bold calls. While he's shown loyalty to a lot of preferred starting 11 players, now's not the time to be nice. Take for instance Harry Maguire. The England international takes an eternity to pass the ball, and in most cases passes the ball back to his defensive partner after looking into the horizon for hours. The sort of mistakes he's made that led to goals are comical to say the least. Something's clearly not right with the player who wears the captain's armband. Ola can do better than Maguire at present and drop him for Eric Bailly. Where's the harm? The McFred partnership is the worst duet we've seen since Eminem's partnership with Elton John for Stan. The two men don't know what a progressive pass means, while Fred looks like a player who might have been born in Brazil but doesn't play like a Brazilian. McTominay is all heart and no skill, so how can we begrudge Donny van de Beek for being so mad at his existence at Old Trafford? Surely the Dutchman deserves better than that. And we're truly sorry to say it, but Marcus Rashford is sometimes one of those extremely selfish players who forgets that he's playing a team sport once he's got the ball between his feet. The England international is great at finding himself in good positions, but passing the ball and sharing the glory isn't mentioned in his book of idioms. Maybe that's where Mason Greenwood is getting his inspiration from. Now what we're going to say next is probably going to hack some people off, but someone has to say the truth. Ronaldo's a great player and he's very good at scoring goals. Problem is, he's been playing in a United team that doesn't create enough chances. Solskjær doesn't have the tactical acumen of the best managers of our time, so he has to return to a more defensive style of football rather than a brand of football where there's no proper plan in motion. This means that Ronaldo needs to be dropped, because he doesn't offer much in transition or in attack apart from scoring a goal every now and then. Ronaldo's lack of pressing undermines the team's tactics and also affects the game time for the likes of Edinson Cavani, Jadon Sancho, Rashford and Greenwood. Cavani's almost the same age as the 5-time Ballon d'Or winner, but offers more off the ball and is a tireless runner. Maybe it's time for Solskjær to make the bold call, even if it won't make his former teammate happy. Come on, Ola, listen to what we're saying. You might thank us.